Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy James, and I'm coming back at y'all with another NBA talk video. I made one about Kyrie probably like a month back. I said I was gonna start uploading, didn't do that. But today I'm gonna hit y'all with the Pacers. This came out a couple days ago, but it seems like the Pacers are finally gonna move towards the rebuild idea instead of the mediocre idea. Um, which I think is good. I think that everyone's been wanting them to either make a splash or rebuild for a while because this roster is probably a playoff team when healthy, but are they even a second round team in the playoffs? Probably not. So I think you gotta either choose one. You gotta go all in or you gotta rebuild, and it looks like they're moving towards the rebuild idea. Um, they are off 10-16. They started off like 1-6, but I think it's just fair to say that the double center idea or double big man idea just hasn't worked. One of them, if one of them's gonna have a big game, it's only gonna be them. They don't really seem like they can coexist, and I honestly believe that both of these guys are centers. I guess Sabonis you could maybe put at the 4, but I like Sabonis at the 5. But in my trades, you'll see him at the 4. But I think this is a good idea. You've got Duarte, you've got like Isaiah Jackson you drafted. You don't have a lot of young talent, but you have a lot of value in the guys to get young talent, and you've got Brogdon locked up. And it hasn't came out that Brogdon is part of open the trade talks. It just says Levert Turner and Sabonis. And then what came out today, Miles Turner doesn't believe the Pacers know his worth. They did win last night, which is interesting. But he said, "I'm trying hard to make the role here. I'm given work and maximize it. I've been trying for the past 2 or 3 seasons, but it's clear to me, just number wise, I'm not valued as much more than a rotational role player, and I hold myself higher in a higher regard than that." So it looks like Sabonis wants out, unless they trade Sabonis, but I do on this topic. I don't think Miles Turner can be like an all-star, but I do think he could be a bigger scorer to a team than he is in Indiana. Um, he's obviously can shoot the ball and he's a great rim protector. I do think that if they want to keep Miles Turner around during this rebuild, that is totally fine because Miles Turner is only 25 and he brings a lot of value. And if you want to hit the rebuild, you might as well give Miles Turner a bigger role and just say, look, Sabonis is gone. You, Duarte, Brogdon, whoever we get back, you guys can cook. And maybe it works. Maybe Miles Turner does have a lot more in the tank than I think, but I do think most people think that Miles Turner's role is kind of self-explanatory. But I do think he can be bigger than what he is in Indiana. Now, I'm gonna get to my 5 trades that I made. Um, One thing I do want to say real quick is that trades are really hard to make up by yourself. Like finding values for players is kind of hard. When I was going through trades, it was a little hard to figure that all out. Um, but a lot of these I tried to make interesting. I do have a couple in there that people have wanted for a while. But starting off with the first one, and this is one that I really like. I think the package could be a lot different, but really like the idea of Sabonis to the Wizards. And if I'm the Wizards, I'm doing anything I can to keep Hachimura. I tried to do that in this trade, but if you can find a way to get Sabonis without Hachimura, then you've got Dinwiddie, Beal, Hachimura, Sabonis, and then you've got Gafford and Trez. To me, that's a really good 5. Um, I don't really think that makes them contenders, but I mean Sabonis is still on the younger side. Obviously, you're trading away young assets, but Gafford's still young. You got a pretty deep team. You still have Bertans, Justin Holiday, Raul Neto, and on um the Pacers side of things, I don't I don't know if this is a good enough package, but I like the idea of the Wizards without giving up Hachimura. So maybe if they like Kuzma could get an even bigger role in Indiana, and maybe Kuzma would be a better option than like Kispert. But the way I look at it is Thomas Bryant looked pretty damn good before coming off of his torn ACL. And honestly, I don't see a place for Thomas Bryant on the Wizards. You've got Gassford, you've got Trez. They both looked really good. Where Thomas Bryant fits in, I'm not sure. You've got Avdia, who this year has been great on the defensive side of the ball, hasn't picked it up offensively. But the thing I like about Avdia is he wasn't drafted for his defense, so the fact that the offense isn't there, but his defense is a promising sign to me. You give him a lot of opportunity. And then Kispert, you kind of get, he's young. A lot of people see him as just a shooter and not much more in his career. But, I mean, every team can use a good shooter. If you want to throw Kuz in here, that's fine. Along with the picks, maybe you take one of the protections off of these. But I'm kind of had a hard time figuring out what Sabonis's like trade value is. But for both teams, I think this is pretty good. But I really like the idea of Sabonis on the Wizards, especially if you can keep Hachimura. So Wizards, hire me. The next trade we have is, of course, Miles Turner to the Hornets. In this one, I've got him kind of giving up a lot, but I've got Bouknight, Washington, Plumlee. Plumlee's kind of there for money. Um, for the Pacers, if you get this offer, I would accept it right away. Um, I think this is a really good offer. And then for the Hornets, you're giving up a lot, but also Miles Turner gives a lot of impact that I feel like a lot of people don't give it credit for. Um, they've been needed a big rim protector for a while. If they give up Bouknight, they still got like JT Thor. Um, they drafted the other Ty Jones. And I understand Hornets fans might not like the idea of Bouknight, but to get a rim protector like Miles Turner and really take a next step, I think you do it. PJ Washington's kind of out of the rotation. Maybe you try to make it work in Indiana. But like I said, if I'm the Pacers and you get this offer, I would accept it pretty easily. And I would accept it if I was the Hornets too. Miles Turner's only 25. He's on a pretty good contract. He still fits the young core at 25. So I would do this for both sides. The next one, another Miles Turner one, and this is the Warriors. This one has been brought up a little bit too. You get Wiseman, you get a first, Kevon Looney for picks. I would probably do this if I was the Pacers too. Wiseman was the second pick last year, a lot of upside. The first round pick probably wouldn't be too much, but like I said, you're getting Wiseman. You're going to get another first. Looney's a solid NBA player. Maybe you look to flip him because he does have value to another team. And for the Warriors, you're getting a rim protector that can also shoot the ball. I think this would be a really good fit. Um, he kind of does everything Looney does, but he can shoot, and he does it at a higher, he's just better at it. Then you've got Wiggins, you've got Steph, Clay, when Clay comes back, Draymond, Turner, and the bench with the role players has looked really good. I like this trade. The next trade is one that I'm kind of iffy on for the package. I do like the idea of Sabonis to the Kings if they really want to end this playoff drought, though. I think he fits pretty well. The thing with Sabonis is I do think he's a center. In the Wizards one, he wouldn't be a center either. But I think if you're the Kings, you do this. It helps you end the drought. Even if you got to give up some picks. I think if I were the Kings, I don't want to say you don't care about the future, but to give your fans just the playoff experience since they haven't had it in 15 years, even if you're going to be a first round exit, I think you do it because unlike the Pacers, you haven't made it in 15 years. You got to get in there. Especially I don't know who the GM is off the top of my head, but if these guys want to keep their job, they also got to get in the playoffs. Now for the Pacers, you get Bagley. Bagley hasn't been playing this year. The package here is kind of rough, but I think if you're the Pacers, you look at Bagley and you think you see something and you say we can make this guy a stud. You do get 2 picks, one unprotected in 2023, which honestly might be a pretty good pick, and then you've got a 2025 top 8 protected. Metu has looked pretty good. I think he could be a serviceable backup big in the NBA. Probably a pretty good one. He's still pretty young. And then you take a flyer on Bagley and hope it works out. Maybe you want to add one of the guards in here, like Davion. I would be okay with that, honestly, for both sides. but this is kind of my start package, and you can go from there. And then the last one, I threw one in for Karras. Um, if you're the Pelicans, you're not doing this for this year. You're doing this for next year of Karras. But honestly, I do like the idea of Karras and the Pelicans. I don't think it's a bad idea. Um, I think it gives you another ball handler, gives you some more offense. Um, I think it's a pretty good fit. Like I said, if you're the Pelicans, you're not doing this for this year. You're going to do this for next year, and you hope you have Zion and BI healthy. And then you've got Alexander Walker, LeVert, BI, Zion, Jonas, and then you've got, a pretty solid bench with some young guys mixed in. Trey Murphy is one that pops out. And if you're the Pacers, I kind of had a hard time figuring out the value for Karras. But I think Kyra Lewis and Jackson Hayes, I think if you're the Pacers, you probably do this. Kyra Lewis tore his ACL. I think it was today. Prayers up to him. That sucks. But I think he's got decent potential. Jackson Hayes got decent potential. You get 2 picks, a veteran and Garrett Temple if you go full rebuild. I think it's an okay package. You could definitely maybe make it a little better, make it a little worse. The Karras trade was kind of hard to find, but I think you do this if you're both teams. It benefits both. Um, and other than that, that was the last trade. I gave you guys 5. Let me know what you think. I think the Sabonis ones were pretty interesting. I don't think I've really seen any Wizards ones, and I do really like the fit. And the other ones, let me know your guys' opinion. I'm gonna try to start uploading more. But other than that, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the trades and other things you want me to talk about.